everybody, Gisele Grenier here. Well, today is challenge day. So I've got my little containers. This is a system that I'm trying. And basically, I'm going to shake the crap out of all these, pick one of my little tickets out, and it's going to tell me what I have to create. The type of art, the color scheme, the focal point, the stamping, the stenciling, the materials, and the actual technique. So let's do this. So the type of art, I'm going to create a Twinchie series. That's art that's 2x2. Oh, I picked up 2. I gotta cut these ones up a little bit bigger. Come on. These are too small. 1. Black and white. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Okay, focal point. Just 1. Anything goes. Get to pick whatever I want. Stamping. If I get more than 1 anything goes, because there's an anything goes in all of them, I'm going to put it back. I only want 1 anything goes. Come on. Steampunk stamp. Well, that's right here. That's the closest thing I have to steampunk, I think. Okay, what stencil? Script stencil. All right. Hope you guys are playing along with me with this. A die cut. Ooh, I don't know how I'm going to use a die cut on a Twinchie. I'll make it work. And whatever I pick out of this has to be one technique used in the whole piece. This one's full. Come on, just 1. Glue gun. Okay, that I'm going to put back because I ran out of glue sticks. The gluey thingies. Dimension. Okay. Let's put you guys over there. Boy, oh boy. I don't know what I was thinking about when doing these. All right. So black and white. Well, I'm going to use chromatic black. So one that I'm going to go through with chromatic black, ultramarine blue, and let's pick burnt umber and white. There's my black and white. Anything goes for the focal point. Okay, so we've got the steampunk stamp. Script stencil. Okay, let me just reach back for the stencils. Okay, while I was getting my stamp. Or stencil. I don't know why I wrote script stencil, because I think that's the only one I have. It's Decor Americana. It's Old French script. And then for the die cuts, I'm going to use my little steampunk gears and cogs thing here. Not steampunk, just gears and cogs. And then the dimension buttons. All right. And the steampunk stamp, that's the only one I have. So I have no idea why I wrote that down. Is that the only one I have? Well. Oh no, I've got some from Tim Holtz. Oh, that probably would have been better. Hang on. No, I don't have a steampunk stamp. It's this one here. It's the clocks. Kaisercraft. But you know what? I've already have a clock here, so because this is only 2x2 art, this is going to be repetitive, but it'll be cut. But I don't want that border on here. I'm going to, you know what? Let's just do that one. Let's just go with the first instinct. We'll see what happens. All right, so let me just move this over here. And I have to pick a substrate to work on. So I'm going to use scrapbook paper. I'm not going to get a massive sheet. Maybe I'll just do a small piece because it would take me forever to do a large sheet of Twinchies. Okay, if it has to be black and white, I've got this recollection. It's like super thin, so I'm going to have to mount it. I've got this stuff here, so I can also set the this into the background with gesso. So what I want to do is I want to pick something, let's say that's 6 by 6. Well, that's kind of neat. Let's do this one. Hope you didn't hear too much of a whoosh on the microphone. Oh, I better hold this out because I have to go over. As with all the videos, I'm going to go over the supplies at the very end. And I lost my ruler, so I'm going to have to use... Just give me a normal ruler. These all start at 0. Oh, I'll use that one. Okay. I'm gonna have to mount this. Oh my goodness. Let's go. Let's do that. So 6 by 6. That will be doable. And I can actually use this stuff on the back to make it thicker. All right, so paper cutter. Okay, so let's glue this down first, and then okay, so I'm going to also pull out, well, I need to pull other stuff out. I'm going to use some matte medium to glue this down. Let's get a bigger brush. And then while that's drying, I can put everything else together. I mean, I could just use started with white paper and just painted it, but and I'm letting that sit just to absorb a bit of the matte medium, and I'll put a little bit more on. Anytime I'm having to strengthen paper up like this, matte medium is a great way of doing it. With the glue sticks, you never know if it's going to stick, like stay together. Paper is just, oh, I should have cut this down. And while we're here, let's just, ooh, no, I'm not doing that. Let's see if I can do that. Does it really matter? Nope. Does not matter. All right. Where's my little... Okay. And my little block. Need to put a piece of felt on this. This is just so I don't rip the paper. This is just a piece of leftover no stick mat. No stick mat? Non-stick mat? Alright. That's that. Alright. I'll clean my scissors right after this as well. All right, you guys, so cut yourself a piece of 6 by 6 paper. Get something that makes black and white paint. So some type of blue, some type of brown, or green and a red, anything like that. Get some white paint. Oh, focal point. I didn't pick a focal point because it's an anything goes. Well, the good thing is focal point's at the very end. Grab yourself a steampunk stamp. If you don't have one, then I guess pick anything. Script, stencil, die cut. Ideally, you want to put the stuff down on this of stuff that you have. All right. Okay, let's go grunge. Let's go grunge. So I'm going to paint this. No. I'm going to make my black and white paint. So I'm going to start off with equal parts of ultramarine blue and burnt umber. Mix that up. And that's actually pretty good. But I need to see the true underlying color. I rarely use black paint other than if I need something opaque. That's what I have. So that's good. So I'm going to use this. Get that out of the way. I'm running out of room. So I'm going to create some splats. Let that separate. Mix it up with the water. This is all right. Might as well do the back. Could be the back, could be the front, doesn't matter. Let's get some paper towel. And see, this is what happens when the matte medium, there's no matte medium on here, it just gets right into the paper. Goes right into the paper. But you can see here that it came off because there's matte medium here. There we go. Oh, you can see where I didn't mix it. There's a bit of brown in there. That's okay. The spirit's the same. All right. That takes care of my black and white paint. Get that out of the way. So black and white, take care of that. We have white, and I'm going to make some splatters. I think I'm going to splatter at the end, though. Yeah, I think I want to splatter at the end. Now I want to get my stamp. So in order to use a stamp, I'm going to use my stamp pad. And that's still wet. Yeah, I better dry that. It's still wet. But it's sticking on really well. Now the other thing I could have, if I didn't have a steampunk stamp, I could have taken these gears and cogs and mount them to a piece of foam. And that was dumb, me doing that heat gun thing with the stamp pad open. That was dumb. This way. Every single bit of this is going to be cut out. There we go. Okay, that takes care of that. Okay. And now, you know what? This is so much faster doing this. This also, you have to be a little bit creative. So because this is so thick, I think I'm going to use the chalky gesso for this instead. I'll use the titanium white for the splatter. And I'm going to use brush. So we'll see how that's going to go. Where are we? Some of it will show up, some of it won't. These stencils are really good. Sometimes I struggle with these stencils because I don't put in the right amount of paint, but I like how strong they are. I am so abusive to my art products. Leonardo da Vinci. There's something here. What I think I'm going to add though, where it says script stencil, I'm going to take a script stencil and I'll put maybe in materials, maybe script paper, or because I've got lots of script stamps. Oh, I should put that in there for a script stamp. But script stencil, this is the only one. Do you guys have what's your favorite script stamp? Or script stencil? Oh, nice. Okay, where it doesn't show, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to come in back with the chromatic black. Nice. Huh. That turned out really nice. I'm going to pounce. That shows up quite well. Nice. Okay. Remember, these are all going to be cut up into 2-inch squares. What's here? Okay, no, I'm going to just stick with the white. Not that white. Gesso. This DecoArt chalky gesso, I absolutely love. It's nice and thick. And now, every piece that I'm creating, every piece of artwork, at the end when I'm finished filming, I will go over, look at the piece, and we'll identify, okay, what did I learn? Well, in this one here, what I've learned is that because these are the decor stencils, these are super thick, smaller brush. For this particular stencil, use a smaller brush. Okay, let me grab, hopefully that will just turn out black and white. You know what? Let's just make this easy for me. Carbon black. Still going to be black and white. Put that one out. So I'm basically taking the chromatic black, but I'm adding carbon black to it, which is going to make it opaque. Yeah. And I forgot to change the stencil, or the brush. Let's try that again. So, well, I knew I had to go to a small brush. Yeah, see, it's picking up some of the white from the stencil. And then now what's going to happen is that because I'm having to put on more paint, yeah, see, it's blurring. So I don't like using the fluid acrylics for stenciling at all. I don't like using it for that at all. The whole thing is shaking. So I'm going to clean my stencil. You don't have to watch me do this, but I'm going to clean my stencil, and then I'm going to dry that piece, and then we will go on to the next thing, which is the embellishments. Okay, so now I'm going to take the matte medium and I'm going to apply a layer over everything. This is still this might still be a bit thin for a Twinchie, which is just 2x2 art. Still might be a bit thin, but what I can do, the beauty is I can take yucky scrapbook paper when it's time to make it, like to actually use it, and I can always remount it. So let's just collage that down. These are thick too. Oh, I like this one. And the beauty was when you're doing this is you're going to have elements over everything. Like you're going to have pieces over everything unless you really give it, you put some heavy space in between. Push, push, push. Put it aside. Always putting matte medium, and this one I'm going to let dry naturally. And see how I'm overlapping them just to make it a little bit more organic. I love using these. And lots of matte medium to hold everything down. And this was cut out of scrapbook paper as well. That's the beauty about you can use material that you don't like and then just paint over it, or I even have pieces of this. I can put it right here. Now because this has to be cut, I have metal ones as well, which would have been nice to use. So this is the actual die cut part of the challenge. And I'm likely going to have to use a knife to cut this because it's so thick. Oopsie. And when I did these, I cut them out of metallic, the scrapbook paper that I had metallic paint on it. There we go. So every 2 inches is where we're going to cut, and there will be a piece. So with the challenge, every element on here has to be on the Twinchie. And what I'll do is I will go get the actual die cut to show you which one I used to create this. So this is what I used. It's Thinlits, Tim Holtz Thinlits alterations, and you get to make all of these. I was spending so much money buying them, but now I've got these. And as well, in the way, I also have, if it wasn't for the Twinchie, I would have used these. I picked these up on Amazon. The whole bag of these metal was the same price as what I paid for that. The beauty is with these I can make as many as I want to look somewhat like the metal, but the metal, I mean, the metal is gorgeous. And one of the things in there is to make, is the element must be metallic. All right, so I'm going to let this dry. Now this has to be, this has to be bone dry before I put it through my paper cutter. So just going to, where's my no stick thing? That's the beauty of this thing here. Nothing sticks. So I'll let this dry, and let's see what's next. So we have the Twinchies, we have black and white, the steampunk stamp, the script stencil, the die cut. So that's done. The stencil's done. Steampunk stamp is done. Black and white is done. I still have to do the splatter, and I have to add the buttons, and anything goes for the focal point. Well, the button is going to be the focal point. So that's my anything goes. I chose buttons, and it also takes care of the dimension. And so is this. These die cuts also the dimension. There we go. We're all set. All right. Thinking probably I should be able to cut these in the paper cutter. I'm thinking probably about an hour before I can do that. It's all dry now. It's not bad. It's not bad for thickness. I wouldn't use this. Like if I had done this, I wouldn't use this for an artist trading card. I would have to mount it on something else. But it needs to be reinforced. Now, what I didn't realize is that the color scheme for this is black and white. These are all metallic. I just realized that these are all metallic. Now, if I paint this now, I'm going to lose all the stamping in here. So I'm going to grab, I didn't even think of it. Didn't even think of it. That's all I have for, yeah, that's all I have. I don't have white metallics. I have the wax metallics, but shoot. Okay. I wasn't thinking. Why didn't you guys tell me? Ding dong. Okay, so I've got some Decor Matte Metallics, the flat metallic paint. In charcoal. Let's see if I can do this. I wasn't even paying attention. Finger, or I don't like getting metallics in my hands. Okay, so this looks like it's going to work. I was not paying attention. I have to press really light so I don't... Yes, he's getting inside, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. As long as I don't lose the stamping and the words. Okay, well, I foobarred on that one, so I just need to be a little bit more conscious of what I'm doing. But I really like that copper. I love the copper. How's that? Still looks black and white, right? Well, that's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with. Darn, darn, darn. I really like the... So I'm going to have to revisit this because, like, when using a die cut, if it's metallic, how would you change it to black and white? Unless I stain it. So, Oopsie. Ah, shoot, I forgot one. Now, the beauty of the piece, because it's full of crap. No, it's full of matte medium, is that I can take this now and I can come in and bring a little bit of that stuff out, the color back out, as long as it hasn't fully dried yet. I really like that technique. Okay. I'm going to dry that. Now the last thing I have to do, I want to bring some white out. I still have the script writing, but I want to bring in some splatter. And the splatter is really, really simple. A little bit more than that. That looks more like binder, not paint. There we go. See what happened there? So I'm going to run into trouble if I use that. It's not a new bottle. I wonder what happened with this one. That does the arthritis really good. There we go. Could have used that. Nope. Not happening. And get a big brush. I did add to the thing in the materials existing Inchy Twinchy. So now that we have some that are going to be done, there we go. Okay, clean that up. And that'll be able to dry this with the heat gun. And that's going to be about the size. That's a Twinchy, 2x2. So we're going to cut that now on the trimmer. So because we use a bunch of matte medium, you have to make sure that, unless you're going to damage your paper cutter. Now, if you're comfortable using a self-sealing mat, you know, those rubber mats, and a blade, you can do that. Now, Joe picked up for me a glass cutting. I don't understand how those work, because you'd think if you're cutting with a blade on glass that it would ruin the blade, right? So I don't understand. I don't understand that. Just making sure that it's... No, there's nothing coming up. Moment of truth. Let's get you out of there. You're ready to, almost ready to be upcycled to art. Upcycle, upcycle. Oh. Upcycle existing art. As what? The technique or the material? In the technique. Okay. So I'm going to use my scissors to trim this part off, and it's going to go back into that container that has these gears and cogs, because I can use them for other things. And I'm not going to reinforce this now because it'll be too hard to cut on the paper trimmer. These are going to go all back in my little there. Okay, not getting paid to make this comment. Okay, but if you're ever, now I don't know if they've changed them, but this Fiskars paper cutter, I've had this for, oh my God, I don't know how many, oh, paint, how many years? This thing has still, with how rough I am on this thing, is still lasted. I haven't had to replace it. I am so, now I say that now, and I bet you I'm gonna damage it now. Wonder if I should try cutting it this way. That way I'm not going to see what I'm cutting. Okay, so we're being a little rough there. There's a little bit of roughness going on. Okay. Let me try this way. This one I don't think is going to. Oh, that cut better. And that should be 2 inches. Okay. And then 2. 2 by 2 by 2. Let me try on upside down. Yeah, that one's fine. I like cutting them upside down because then I can't see what I'm doing. It's a surprise every single time. You can use this technique for artist trading cards as well. Can you imagine? Like, other than my yakking because I'm teaching, can you imagine how many you can make? I mean, really, what did it take? Other than drying time and me teaching, like, how long did this actually take? Here we go. All right, so there's your Twinchie. Now what we got to do is I have to do the anything goes feature, which is buttons. Well, that's just, whoa. But it's got to be black and white. Okay, that sucks. Because there's some really funky buttons here. There's some really funky buttons here. I broke this one. That could work. I bought these buttons. I bought a bag for $5 at Len's Mill. Okay, so now I don't like creating focal points on Inchy Twinchies because they are a background, but let's see what we can do. I like working in threes, so if you can make them different sizes, the buttons, that's always the best. Actually, I was going to start putting it up here, but it doesn't matter. You just have to turn it. Okay. What else? Oh, here's a pretty one. I need that to be in a dark area. Let's keep that one a simple button. Make that one fancy. How about we mix? Ooh. Raw. Oh, I like that. Raw. Ooh, I like that. Here's a cloth one. That's brown. That's broketed. Oh, let's leave it there. Broketed button. Let's do this. White. Make one just white, one just black, and one a mix. That's not white. Here's the mix. And then just white. And then just black. Can't use that one, that's gold. Oh, I love that. Oh, look at this one, Bauer, Eddie Bauer. Oh, that's from Joe. That's a little bit big. Ooh, thinking that might be a bit big too. But then you know what? Oh, I'm so excited. I'm just gonna grab a handful of quotes. It still would work with a quote. I was telling Joe what I was trying to say. You should sell these. No, I'd rather teach you guys how to do this stuff. I think I want to make this by itself. I don't want to add anything else to it. Light, dark. That button needs to be a little bit bigger. I like the broken button there. Wait. Ooh, look at that one. That's too big. The white buttons seem to be all the same. Oh, look at that. Oh, is that too big? You know what? I'm using it. I don't care. I'll make that a single. I like, if you can see that. Those are really neat. I could do this all, ooh, a square button. I could do this all flippin' day. Okay, so this is broken. That's got the pattern, so I want that a plain button. This is stuck together. Let's get that. Okay. Plain, plain. I need something fancy. Oh, that's a really nice button there. I'm not going to go off camera. I want you guys to see the process. Here's a bigger button. How's that? Here, I think we're good there. I think we're good. Whoa, what a bead. What the heck is that doing in there? I have so many of these little fancy buttons there. Oh, there we go. There's a plain one. There we are. So that's what we're going to work with. Now I'm going to go off camera and put all those back in the jar. All right. Now, before anybody out there says you have to put 3, don't forget these are just little Twinchies. You add these to existing art. So even though I have only 1 button there, when it comes to using this in another piece of art, I can always add more buttons. So don't worry. Now I'm going to use my liquid glass to, oh, you know what? Wait. I forgot to do this. But in the same respect, I can do this when it comes time to creating the artwork. I don't have to do this now. But it does look much better, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to edge all of these off camera because this is tedious. You don't need to sit here and watch me do this. That's all I'm going to do. That's all I'm going to do. So I'm going to do that off camera. Then I'm thinking, but if I use this in a piece of art that has a different color, I always do the edging. Nope, not going to do it. Because I always do the edging with another color that's in the art piece. So, well, I did too. All right, so using the liquid glass as my glue. Love that. This is the broken button. And I'm just going to glue these down. And what I'm doing, I'm positioning them in the corner because that way I can always add the quote on the other side. And this one here, I like the open end. There. And don't forget, just have fun with the process. So I'm challenging you guys to create a piece that's a Twinchie. That, yeah. I gotta stay in order here. That's a Twinchie. So take a 6x6. It takes too long just to do one, so do a 6x6. And on that 6x6, unless you want to do 12x12 to create a lot. So for this particular theme, black and white. You can use black paint and white paint, but why not challenge yourself? Chromatic black. So chromatic black, if you don't know what that is, I have on my YouTube channel a playlist on color mixing and theory. Find the one for the black. So chromatic black is black with color, and the colors are so much more luminescent. In a nutshell, ultramarine blue and any brown. Any blue, any brown. My go-to is ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. That's my go-to, but I like to mix it up a bit depending on what I want it to look like. So, or you can use one of the phthalo colors with a red. The most beautiful black I've ever made, well, one of the most beautiful blacks I've made, has been with Viridian, with oils. Viridian with alizarin crimson. So I don't have that in the fluid acrylic, so what I do is I'll take either phthalo green yellow, phthalo green blue, or even a sap green and mix it with a red. And that's more of an experiment of which red you want. Naphthol red light, naphthol red, or even you can try one of the quinacridone magentas or primary magentas. You can do that. But basically complement colors on the color wheel, complementary colors, but it's depends. Like purple and yellow don't really work out all that nice. So your color theme will be black and white, and your focal point, whatever you want, doesn't matter. A steampunk stamp. So if you don't have any steampunk stamps, substitute with something steampunk. A gear or, a key or something. Whatever stamp you have that's as close to steampunk as you have. And let's try that again. Now, you know what you can also do? If you have a butterfly stamp, you can turn this into steampunk, but you have that, and then just put a key in where his body is. Put a little key. Steampunk is basically industrial, so do that. And then the stencil, something that's scripty. Now, that's where I only have one script stencil. So if you don't have a script stencil, just take a pen with some paper and then just handwrite scribble on it, and use that as your paper base and as a substitute for a script stencil. Then use a die cut. So a die cut is anything that's cut out of something. So these are all die cuts. These little things are die. I gotta find where to get a die for that. I love that. But all these are die cuts. They're cut out. What else is a die cut? These things. Chipboard. That's a die cut. These are die cuts. Anything that's cut out. Okay, so that's a die cut. If you don't have access to die cuts, no worries. Just cut something out of a magazine. So just take something and cut it out. And then the piece has to be dimensional. So it has to have dimension. Dimension meaning dimension. So I automatically get the dimension because of the die cuts of the gears and cogs and the buttons. And my anything goes for the focal point is the buttons. That's what I used. Alrighty, so I'm going to let this dry and I'm going to assemble these on some paper and then we'll close this up. Alright, so as promised, I'm going to go over the supply that I actually ended up using. So my die cut is the Sizzix thinlits of the gears and cogs, and I've got those, so that's what I use for that. So that takes care of the die cut. So I'm going to put that back in here. And then the paper base was this black and white pad, and there's the script. I could have used this. I would have taken care of the script if I didn't have a stencil. So that's the paper base, is this black and white pad. So that takes care of that. And then my focal point was anything goes, but I used buttons. Okay, so that takes care of the focal point, which also took care of the dimension. That's for the technique. Takes care of that. And let's bring all this out. So the color scheme was black and white, and I've got that with Decor Media Fluid Acrylics, Ultramarine Blue, Carbon Black, Burnt Umber, Titanium White, and the Decor Matte Metallic, Flat Metallic Paint Charcoal. And that's because I screwed up on the die cut. And I could have just used black and white like that, but I like the chromatic black, and my chromatic black made with ultramarine blue and burnt umber. That takes care of the paint. That's the color scheme. And for my stamping, I use this stamp. This is all I have that's the closest thing to steampunk. So that's my stamp. And where did I buy that? It's a Hampton Art, 7 Gypsies. I have no idea where I bought this. Probably at the scrapbook store before they closed down. So, I don't know. And then my Stays On pad. And then the script stencil was the Americana Decor Old French Script 12 by 12 stencil. That takes care of the script stencil. And then I used the DecoArt Chalky Gesso, the white, to do the stenciling because it's nice and thick. And then to glue everything together was a DecoArt Medium Matte Medium for the collage. And then I used a liquid glass to glue the buttons onto the piece. And with the other basic supplies, a paper cutter, and then heat gun, cosmetic sponges, paintbrushes, paper towels, baby wipes, all that stuff. Heat gun. Yeah, I think that's good, right? I think I got everything. All right. So here we go. And then what I did on these two, I edged the sides. So just to compare without the black edging and with the black edging. So, but because these are add-ons to, you add these to other art, then, you know, that's that. So just to show you something, let me just trim this. Just to show you something, how you can use this is that you can put a quote on it like that, and then take a page. So I can just use, let's say I can just use this, and I can, so just to show you, there, done. How beautiful is that? But what I would have done is, see this background of the blue? I wouldn't edge it with the blue. I probably would still edge it with, let's say, do I have any metallic? I think I have some type of brassy metallic in there. I would edge it with that. So whenever, I'd like to try to make whatever colors, that at least two or three in different areas. So I would take some of this gray and maybe put some here, and then there's some white. So just to have everything cohesive. But there you go. So that's how you can use a Twinchie as a, it creates art really, really fast. This is not really appropriate, but, and this would have been a nice thing with the Twinchie. Just find the ones that match together to create this type of thing here. All right, so you see where I'm getting at with this? You just have to create the background. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed this. Please, please give this challenge a try. And I would love to see what you create. So please share this on social. Let me just get a bit of a closer up. Please share this on social and then post a link to that in the comments below. Or I know some of you guys aren't comfortable sharing your art publicly, so I got your back. Go to artplace.ca, click the contact link at the top right corner. If you're on desktop, or just click the hamburger menu, that little menu with the 3 lines. If you're on mobile, click contact, and then reach out to me that way. And you can either email me the pictures, or you can share the link that way. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed this. I enjoyed this challenge, and you know what? It was really easy when I was being told what to do. Some things I was kind of ticked off about, like having to change up the colors of these. Like, I like that copper. I'm sorry. So, you know, thanks to my poppy, when I'm told what to do, I usually find an excuse to break the rules. So that's me being a rebel. I created the challenge, but I'm going to break my own rules. All right, so give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and I would really love to hear your feedback. And also, let me know if there's anything that you want me to add to my little things here. Maybe I should do a video on how I made these up, so you can see what's in them. So let me know if there's something that I should add in here, and for a future challenge, which is going to be in the next lesson. All right, so until I see you then, stay inspired.